Okay, I'm the school psychologist for the district, and I run a club at the high school called the Y Club. It is a community service, government-based club sponsored by the YMCA, and every year we attend the Kentucky United Nations Assembly in Louisville, and gotta find my little button. What it does is the students get to pick a country, and they go and you build a booth about the country, you develop an issue about the country, and you go and present it and debate just like you were an ambassador for the United Nations and try and get it passed. When I started it, I realized that kids do not see beyond their hometown. We're trying to pick countries, and they were giving me states. They didn't even know what another country was. And once we've got them into it, they are extremely passionate about it and love it. The kids that I have now at the high school have been doing it with me since 8th grade, and they've already got their countries planned out for the next, until they graduate. And what I wanted to do was, because we do it at the middle school and high school, I wanted to develop that interest at the elementary level. So my grant was to do an elementary-based CUNA. And when you go to the one in Louisville, the high school and middle school level, you have to go in costume the first night representing your country, whatever the national attire, traditional attire is. A parade of nations, you have to build a sign that represents your country and have a flag, and you go and present that. International stage, we did 2 dances this year, one from Nigeria and a sword dance from Niger. Our 3 countries were Nigeria, Niger, and Cameroon. You build a booth, do the resolutions. Security Council will deal with actual war type topics. International Court of Justice, this year we did whaling. Japan and Australia were arguing over Japan's whaling rights in the Southern Ocean, and Media Corps is just the journalism part of it. And just to give you some idea, I've got some pictures of like what it looks like at the high school level. This is some of the Global Village booths from high school. Yeah, it's really in depth. This is some of the costumes that they've done. And then this was our first experience in 8th grade. We had Belgium, and this was our booth. And then this was last year. We had France and Germany. So we did several France things, and then we focused on the Grimm fairy tales for Germany for costumes. And so for the elementary CUNA, we had them pick a country. We did costumes. They developed a booth based on their country, and the YMCA, I had to go back and get an old document. They've taken it away, but they have a guiding document that guides your research and stuff, and so they filled that out and used that as their basis to build their booth. We had videos with QR codes connected to their booth, and we wanted, when we first started this, I wanted to do the whole resolution concept with them, but never working with elementary students, because primarily my focus, like I said, has always been middle and high school. I learned through this project, and they were more interested in the dance and the food and what they did for fun. And they actually wanted to do the international stage, which is not something I had planned to do. They wanted to learn a dance. And so we flipped it, and I said, we'll worry about resolutions later, and we'll focus on the fun stuff this year to get started. And so here's what the kids we had to participate. They did Italy. We had France. And Mexico, and Romania was our first countries this year. And we actually had our culminating event on Monday, and they presented to their school, they presented to each other. This is some of the projects they did for their booths. We had clay, and they built and made things. We had one from Romania. He was obsessed with the myths, the dragons and the legends and Dracula and everything. And so everything about it, that was free. And he brought in an aspect that I hadn't thought of. He built a robotic dragon and wore it around on his shoulder that day. And that was something I hadn't planned on, but it was something he was really interested in. And so he would tell everybody to touch its chin, and then he'd make it open its mouth. And Jada would kill me if she knew I had this picture, because she's laughing. But, you know, it would make everybody jump because they didn't know it was going to move, because he had that cable head to where you couldn't see it. And as part of the event, I brought in other countries for them to learn about. And so they made Masai neck colors from, the African tribes, and then they made maracas from South America, and then I taught them a couple games. They're playing here, What Time Is It, Mr. Wolf from Australia, and then they also played one called Luca de Beppa, which is a hopping game. You have to hold your hand up, right hand up and your left foot up, and you have a rag like flag football, and you can't put your foot down. You have to chase each other around and try and get the rag. And so they really enjoyed that. I don't know how many times they played this. That was half the day. And I want to show you, this was the international stage. This was the ones that brought it up first. I'll show you a little video if it'll play for me. Well, maybe not. Well, okay, I don't think it's going to. But anyway, we had the little girls from Italy here and the ones from France both put their heart into it, and in 2 days learned to dance and put on the performance for their school and everything. They took a lot of encouragement. They got nervous when it actually came time to do it. And then this is just some of the kids going through the event. And then we brought the booth that we had from the high school and set it up in addition so that they could see where it was going, where would they be leading up to in the high school, what the high school event would look like and stuff. And our high schoolers went down and met with them, and they had a ball. They danced with them and everything. So they kind of ran the show that day and stuff. And I don't know how many that came up and said, can I do this next year? Can I be in the Y Club in the high school? And the ones that participated, they've already got their next 3 years. I want to do Brazil this year. I want to do this. So they've really bought into it and stuff. And it was cute, the things that, of course, the younger ones, the things that they saw and learned about the countries and stuff. But anyway, they had a really good time. They learned some stuff. I learned some stuff from them. So this, if you run a high school, that's an awesome program. Okay, that's it.